But there's one more tool, I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness, every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick, drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it, makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating... Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's two curls out of the one potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the two colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. On my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat them. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in two. Serve them on the half shell, just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now, the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this, drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast. Why, they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champion Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat. Once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these. Cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season, when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just hit it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now, here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now that can be used for sardine cans, square cans or round cans, exactly the same way. Now, this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven, catch a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness, every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick, drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it, makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now, don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating... Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, you'll receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece...
Hey everyone, how we doing tonight? Everyone having a good Saturday? Welcome in, Cop God. I'm seeing all sorts of people in Stream Raiders. Seems to be all sorts of people in here tonight. Welcome, welcome. So we're going to crack open that Cyser today. And we're going to crack open this bottle of strawberry mead. We can get rid of the stove tonight. Get rid of one of these guys. I had 4 of these last year. Did these when I was streaming on Mixer. And so started it around this time last year. So we got that. And then this guy, if you guys haven't been following along, we've got backyard apples, which are taking up considerable amount of space here. I'm thinking I'm only going to fill up probably 3 of these guys. Nice coyote. Welcome back. I apologize I didn't get you a chat shout out or for Cop God there. Been working on that the last couple of days here. I have to manually enter all of them, and so it takes some time every now and then. But I appreciate you guys being in here. Thank you. Where was I? Explaining the Cyser. I have apple trees in my backyard, and so these are apples that were pureed along with wildflower honey and water to fill with DV10 yeast, which is cider or light wine yeast. It doesn't have a huge alcohol tolerance. The amount that's bubbling does not make me feel confident. We don't want bottle bombs. Let's see what we get with just a little shake in here, or if it's just a little trapped CO2. See if that keeps bubbling here. It's going to give us at least one more, but let's start prepping anyways. So I got a sink full of water here already. I'm going bleach method, which is not the method most brewers use. This is more because I only do it every once in a blue moon. Bleach is not as good as the other methods that brewers have for doing all their sanitation. It works though. So, sink full of water, healthy amount of bleach, put in our auto siphon, hose for the auto siphon, and something to siphon all this into. We're also going to need strainer. We want to go with that one, or do I want to go with a conical? Yeah, let's just go with that guy and just dump it in. So I normally use this guy for making stock. It's my fine mesh strainer. Going to use that to get rid of the majority of this sediment. Hey, 9-reader. to increase the amount of water here in the sink. It's only about 75% full here, and that's not going to cut it to get this all soaking. So let's open up our old bottle here. Well, old bottle, I mean, it's probably due for actual drinking here. And so this is a strawberry mellow, so I use strawberries in this. And also blackberry honey. So this should be nice and fruity. Should be a still. It's got a gorgeous color to it. And it smells amazingly like strawberries. Oh wow. Just like straight up fresh strawberries. Beautiful color. Don't know on either of these. I do have a hydrometer. However, I didn't take beginning readings with this one. And I didn't take any readings with this one. But I say hydrometer. The way you determine alcohol content when you're a home brewer, you're not doing it. You don't have fancy, very expensive brewer tools. Is you take a hydrometer reading, which gives you your specific gravity, which essentially tells you how thick it is. But, and you can do mathematical computation. There's formula you can look up online, readily available. And it'll allow you to convert that to give you the difference in what's produced in alcohol. Wow, that's sharp. It's tasty, but it is acidic and sharp. I seriously want something to cut that. And I'm not hungry at all right now. I ate up the last of the roasted chicken from Wednesday for lunch today. I made up a big salad for lunch today. So I'm not really hungry tonight. And if I am hungry, I still have polenta, squash, and obviously still have pork, but also not eating all, well, I'm not going to eat all that pork anyways, but we're saving some of that for tomorrow night. Smelling this is amazing though. I mean, it's like straight up like strawberry seeds. Still bright. Very fruity. Very fruity. Though Nan Reader, also I'm using DV10, which means that my alcohol content is probably not over 12. It might be 12 and change, but it's a rather lightweight in as far as yeasts and how much alcohol it can withstand before it goes dormant. We're seeing how much alcohol this is still producing here because I'm worried that this is still maybe too active to be bottling. I've just left it there. I haven't touched it there for like 2 weeks. That's why it's so beautifully clear here in the first part of it. Hasn't all been intermixed. Alright, I think we're okay here. We're not going to have a ton of pressure, and we're going to be removing a lot of the incentive for it to be active. Pull the drain on the sink now. Let all that dry out. Well, not rather dry out, we're going to have to rinse it all off. Oh wow, all sorts of help in the Stream Raiders tonight. Welcome in, everyone. Well, excuse you, Drain. When you're using bleach, you want to then rinse off all the surfaces with fresh water and then don't touch them again. Well, the surfaces that you're going to have. Welcome, Big Davey. I saw you get shout out as you came in there. Hopefully you're doing well today and enjoy your lurk. Leave the rest of those for later. Alright. Set that guy aside, we won't need him again. So we're gonna strain all of this through there. Oh, I forgot about the cinnamon stick in there. I can definitely smell it. But there's a cinnamon stick in there that swelled up and got too big to go back out of the hole. We'll set that guy aside for now. And while this is draining out here, let's do our battle. fanged mermaid. Let's go pumpkins. I haven't done much pumpkin content this year, so we gotta make up for that. Sorry, I know that's not the most exciting view there for... Essentially, I'm just rolling it and trying to hold it as flat as possible so maximize its clean screening ability. While this continues draining here, I'm realizing, oh hey, I need to sanitize bottles too. So we're going to let that continue to drain like that. That should set steady like that. We'll go back to main view here and start filling this sink up again with bleach water. Give my hands a good hand wash here first. And by the way, I did clean and sanitize the sink. Well, I did clean and scrub out the whole sink before I filled it with the bleach water. So I was starting with a clean sink. Just minor disclaimer there. I would hope you guys would realize that, but who knows. Sky is still pretty regularly dripping here. Actually, I don't know if you can see that. You might be able to actually see that. It's still streaming down out of that thing. And wow, there is cinnamon in that. And this is for me, by the way, so if anyone, I didn't really cough into that, but that is bright and sharp, and it's got all the bite that you could possibly ever want from a berry. I really need food with this. And I'm, like I said earlier, I'm already stuffed from salad at lunch. At the same time, it has, like, none of those early mead issues. There's none of that harsh alcohol type flavor to it. There's none of the harsh yeast like flavors either. It's pretty much just straight fruit, acid, and sharp. Bam! Here's berry. That'd go really good with some, like, buttery seafood. Oh yeah, something nice and light, not too offending, not too heavy, but could use a little something to cut through it, or cleanse the palate, rather. That's what it can be, an awesome palate cleanser. Which you don't really want from a wine, but oh, that's what I can do. I can paste this way. Maybe that'll be a little bit more interesting for you guys. I don't know. Well, we wait on bottles to be sanitized. These are brand new clean bottles, so I'm not too worried about them being dirty. So I'm not having to pull out the bottle brush and soap these guys all out and rinse them and dry them before I sanitize them. I will have to do that with this guy and this guy in the future. But I think I'm going to be fine here. I'm going to sanitize, let's see. I'm going to sanitize 3 of these guys. Oops. Cheers. So how's everyone's nights going? Anything new and interesting in the world out there? Making sure we get as much air as possible out of these bottles. That's good to hear. Didn't rain today, but it's nice and getting dark already again, which is nice. Like I was saying the other day, that it's nice that it's the time of the year when I don't have the sun blaring in my face. I don't know how it looks on video, but comparatively, you always want more light, but okay, what's next in our step here? I think it's time to get rid of our paste here. We are still slowly dripping here, but I think we got at least 90% out of here. Oops, well, it's still draining again now. Starting to look more like solid paste compared to beginning, but okay, I'm done with that. In the compost it goes. And set you over here with this to be future cleaning projects. So this is our mead. You could if I was careful about it. There's all the peels in there, there's all the seeds in there. I would guess that you could do all sorts of non-food stuff with it. But, yeah, I didn't have any plans for it. Be great compost, though. And mildly alcoholic. Most breweries in that are sending those grains, spent grains, off to farms and such, so that they're turned into animal feed. When I visited Kentucky over a year ago now, a couple of the bourbon places I went, they were all giving their spent grains away to local ranchers. So now that we got that set, we need our racking cane. Rinse that with water. Like I said, if you're using bleach as your sanitation medium, you need to rinse everything. Where are you? Bigger tube? There you are. tubing in the thing is purposely tight. Guy at the brew shop sold me on the idea of doing the exact same size, actually, because the outer tube is thin enough and flexible enough that it'll flex that much. Awesome. So we got our siphoning system. Set this actually down in the Cyser. We'll put that there and there. But had prepped ahead of time and skipped the seeds and the skins, that might be something interesting to work with as far as something to cook with. I need to lower this so I can actually, you can just pull the drain on it actually. Anyone been watching the GlitchCon today? Or equivalent of COVID TwitchCon? There's our first rinsed sanitized bottle. Hey German dude, welcome in. Oh, they're doing all their sort of annual, this is what we're cool doing, and there's a bunch of video events and giving away video game stuff and lots of announcements and giveaways and all that sort of stuff. There's a special badge if you go over there, I think, to the Twitch channel on Twitch. How you doing, German dude? What's new in your world? So just resting the very top of that in there. And holding it there. And so I'm essentially just pumping it. I could use gravity to my advantage here and let it auto-siphon the whole way. But it's just these 3 bottles. Oops, we're getting meat above the seal here. Do want to leave some space there, especially since these might have a little pressure on them. Wow! Thank you for that, Raid. I'm sorry I didn't catch the alert for that. Welcome in, everyone. Oh, there we go. Welcome in, everyone. How we doing tonight? Thank you for that raid, Metro. Doing an extra stream this week. Going to be, not actually cooking tonight. I am in the middle of bottling my most recent batch of mead. No food today. Just booze. We got the 2019 mead that I made when I was on Mixer. And what we have here is the apple Cyser that I made from backyard apples. Or I say apples from my backyard, rather. However, if you are interested in food, I will be cooking here tomorrow night, same time. Gonna be doing stuffed milk buns with pork that I roasted on Friday. How close are we getting here? There we go. So that's our second bottle. That second bottle, looking at that thing, it's making me wish that I'd sanitize that fourth bottle. German dude. I've made mead on several occasions. Obviously, I've made it last year, and I've been brewing on and off for about 15 to 20 years. I started when I was in college. And I need another bottle. So I actually got 4 bottles out of this bad boy. I was so thinking that I was going to get like next to nothing with all that apple cinnamon in there. I apologize. I strained all that out here. I spent the better part of 30 minutes before that. Welcome in, John. John, another Team Bone-In cooking streamer. So, Metro, what were we streaming tonight? What were we doing earlier? I missed you streaming. I would have been watching. I've been sort of distracted, actually, by TwitchCon or GlitchCon today. Oh, just some art stuff, and you probably completely redesigned someone's overlays. So we gotta fill the sink again. So it's gonna be a sec to sanitize this last bottle. Well, GlitchCon is today. And so, like, twitch.com/Twitch has been doing stuff from 9 Pacific or 9 a.m. Pacific until I think 9 p.m. Pacific. If I can get any Kappas in chat, they may be gold. They've released a whole bunch of emotes. They're doing a whole bunch of emotes as drops. And you have all the other stuff going on, like Twitch Rivals is going on right now. All that sort of stuff. Yeah, Apache's got the badge for it there, and Metro. Anyone here not giving Metro a follow, you should do so. Great artist and Paladins player. So if you're just coming in here, we got 3 bottles here of my backyard apple, cinnamon, wildflower honey, and DV10 yeast mead, or Cyser. And here we have this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful looking red golden is my strawberry mellow mel made with blackberry honey. This started around this time last year. Which is really, 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 really making me wish that I had like some shellfish or something right now. Yeah, they did give a partner to Chef Steve today, though. They announced that as a part of it. They had him on, and I guess they're springing on 2 people every hour during this. There's no real bluish color to it to me here. Let me see how it's looking here on screen. This color doesn't... This doesn't give me my best color here. Let's try over here with our main screen. The napkin for a pure white background. Oh, okay. It does look like rosé. But I mean, it's strawberry and blackberry honey, so I mean, it's in that same ballpark. It's bright, it's acidic, it gives you a real punch when you first start, and then it's just pure berry for like tons of strawberry right on the nose, like strawberry seeds almost. Bottle's almost submerged. We got bleach foamies going on here. Okay, I think we're there now. It's been underwater a minute. Oops. That ain't rinsed out. It's still got bubbles in it. Another thing from the TwitchCon thing, or GlitchCon, they were saying if they, I think it's the little Twitch, train emote, or rather the graphic at the top. They're saying the number of trains, sub-trains, has been enough to cover half the world. I think it was with that like 3-inch little graphic. Okay, this one's going to be a little more complicated. Let's stick that one down in there. Put this down towards the bottom. There is still a little sediment there, so we're going to let that sit for a moment. Hype train, that was the word I was thinking of, or words. Okay. So if I'm going to have a bottle bomb, it's going to be this guy. And we're going to give that little bit there a try, although it's probably going to taste like jet fuel at this point. If you guys are not familiar with Mead, if you've not worked with that, very young Meads, they all need to age, I would say, at least a month. And unless you've got one of the recipes that ages very quickly, you probably don't want to touch it for 6 months. So, these are going to be sitting for a while. I might try one of these in about 6 months. And this is the second one. And we're a year in here. So, cheers to that. I'm very happy with this. Let's get this battle a try here. Gratz Fang Mermaid and Midget Hedgehog. I get some scrolls too. I haven't checked my army in a while here. Let's see how my army's doing here. Oh, I can specialize my tank now. %40 more defense, but 20% less damage. Extra. Yep. There we go, level 20. Work. Doesn't want to let me do it. Okay, take a quick look at the store. I'll leave all that. Go back to our next campaign. Okay. And while we're here, why don't we go over to Discord and point out that we have the current battle going on here in the Wednesday dinner voting between McDonald's French fries and eggnog. And on Friday, on Monday, I'll be closing the voting. And on Wednesday, I'll probably be cooking with eggnog for both dinner and dessert. If you guys have not been catching that, I have been doing themed dinners every Wednesday with a challenge ingredient from here in Discord. If you have any of your own suggestions, just below that here, we have the suggestions channel. And you can come in here and vote for any ideas that you like. And feel free to add any of your own. We also have all the other lovely Discord stuff. And the walk-in is our main chat. So, stay with that. Let's go to capping our bottles. Brand new pack of lids here. So that'll be the plan here on Wednesday. Tomorrow night, going to be doing milk bread buns with the leftover pork from Friday. Have no idea who Hooch Brews is or was. Sort of mildly scary using one of these metal ones because they can break bottles. We have a decent seal there. We'll hope that stays nice. You look for a nice crimp all the way around. I use a metal one because I've broken literally 2 of the plastic ones that you find more often. And so I bought a metal one knowing that my possibility of breaking a glass bottle was higher. So I have to be more careful in using it. But I'm not going to cut my hand on a plastic one that breaks. Nice solid ring all the way around. I don't know if you can tell that it's got a crimp to it. There you go, you can see that. It's actually almost easier for me to see the ring in there. In camera than it is in person. These do have the plastic seals on the inside. It's really amazing. I don't know what the number is, but how little of a grip your typical bottle cap actually has on the top of a bottle is rather amazing if you look up that stat. There's like that one's got a good seal too. Awesome. So I'll make labels for these off stream. I'm not going to make nice printed beautiful labels like Fourth Room Brewing, but I'll do something along this line like I did for the strawberry. So that was pitched a year and a month ago. I racked it with the strawberries around this time last year. I bottled it in January. This one I started 6 weeks ago and just bottled now. So that one spent more time fermenting, but it also had second fermentation with the strawberries. I did an initial fermentation just with straight honey. This one I went in fruit and honey right at the beginning. Nice, Patchy. Elisa Johnson-Kuhn, thank you for that follow. Welcome in. If you guys are new here, I am doing an extra stream. I'm not usually on here on Saturday nights. I normally cook here on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. I'm going to be back here cooking on Sunday. Tonight I'm making up mead that I started here on stream 6 weeks ago. And so let's see what the other one is tasting like. Let's see what our apple cinnamon one is like here while it's still young. Gotta go deep here to get a second of the same glass. And we're gonna have to rinse this guy out too. If any of you guys are new here to the show, you can see up in the top corner over there, I do have a slideshow of the past things that I've done here on stream, either here or on Mixer. I update that every month or two. And you can also find all the same photos on Instagram and Discord. There we go. So let's see what we got here with our dredges with all the Definite cinnamon. I mean, heavy, heavy cinnamon. Hopefully that'll mellow out, especially now that it's aging without it. There's our... Obviously not very clear. It was much clearer before I went and strained it all and mixed it all up together again. Probably get some decent sediment in these bottles by the time the year's up. Let's see how hot and fire this is. Let's see. I'm almost expecting this to be like red hot or what is the alcohol? Oh wow, that's rather boring. I'm sure that's going to develop. Don't get me wrong. It's. I expected high alcohol bite. This is not a huge high alcohol bite. Not a huge high alcohol bite. Not getting a ton of the cinnamon yet either. You can tell those things are there. And I think they're going to come out. But you also don't have... this isn't lighter fluid either, which is... Yeah. I do want to go back to this, though. In fact... Yeah, this is definitely too young. But I think it's going to be okay. I think once it ages, it's going to be a lot more interesting, going to bring out a lot more character to it. And this, like I said, is just screaming for seafood. I'm going to have to definitely do some lobster or crab or something with this. I've been meaning to put crab bisque on the menu, but I've been sort of waiting here until winter until we can do all the soups. So it's winter, we can start doing soups. But we've now bottled everything. I've tried out my mead. This is a relatively short stream, about an hour here tonight. But thank you guys for joining me. Let me see who we can give a raid to tonight. See who all we got on here tonight. What we got going on? What's new? What's happening? Why don't we go over here? Yeah, I don't think he's doing something that's going to be good for us. Spending forever deciding here. Alright. Gonna go to a fellow Team Bone-In member. As I said, I will be back here tomorrow at 4:30. Going to be doing milk bread buns. So nice, soft, really doughy buns. We're going to stuff them with the leftover pork and spice that all up. And Wednesday, looking like eggnog unless you guys go in there and rally the vote. So we'll be doing something interesting with eggnog on Wednesday. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a great night. Let's go say hello to the practical escapist now and show her some love. Have a great night, everyone.